So that's the view of the president, but is he right? Are the tariffs really going to revive the US economy, and how much will the rest of us have to suffer? Antonio Fatas is a economist and professor at INSEAD and joins me now. Thank you for joining us, Antonio. Many industries, many countries still computing what exactly these tariffs mean for them. I mean, how long do you think it's going to take before that picture actually becomes clear?
I think it's going to take a while because first, this is such a complex set of tariffs, very high, much higher than things that we've seen before, very different across countries, where there's sort of many dimensions that we still need to understand better. How much companies will be able to shift production from one country to another to be able to avoid these tariffs, and in addition, we have the uncertainty: will these tariffs, some of these tariffs, will they be lower in the future? Will they be increased? Again, we're just talking about retaliation by China. How much retaliation are we going to see from other countries? I think it's going to take a while, and by a while, it could be weeks or months until this will settle, and we have even a clear idea of what the future scenario is before we can say something sensible about what is going to happen to growth or some other variables.
Well, speaking about that, one piece of new information we've had in the last 20 minutes or so, China saying that it will respond with a 34% retaliatory tariff. What do you make of how they've decided to respond?
I think this is tit for tat. I think that's what many countries will do. I know that some countries are saying, okay, let's sort of take a little bit of a deep breath. Let's try to negotiate. But we're talking about 200 countries, each of them with a different tariff, going to the US to try to negotiate a deal, to try to reduce the tariff when it's not even clear what the goal on the other side is. I'm not sure how much of that we're going to get. And I think many countries will react like China, which is either I'm really tough and I produce a credible threat, or these tariffs will not go away in a reasonable amount of time. So I expect Europe to do something similar to what China just did.
And as you say, we've heard China's response. There could be 200 different sets of negotiations to get underway. That would take a lot of negotiating bandwidth for everyone involved. It will take some time. And in the meantime, these tariffs will undoubtedly hurt.
I mean, they will. And I think, again, I'm a little bit worried that on the US side, I think there is a belief that this is going to work, that these tariffs will not hurt the US that much, that even if this takes time, it doesn't matter because now we're heading in the right direction. There's going to be a boom in the stock market. The economy will do well. So I don't think there's a sense of urgency in the US. At least I don't see it when I hear the words of President Trump. And I think that's really a serious risk for all of us, because if there's no urgency on the US side, I'm not sure what the rest of the world can do.
And very few business leaders, no matter what they're thinking behind closed doors, have actually been vocal about it, particularly within the United States. Now, Donald Trump likes to think of himself as an unconventional thinker. In your view, are there any scenarios in which he could, and the United States, could come out as a winner from this big gamble?
I don't see any scenarios. I mean, clearly, this is a losing proposition for all of us, including the US. For some variables like inflation, I think the US is at much higher risk than anyone else. It could be that in terms of growth, some smaller countries are going to suffer a lot more than the US because they're more exposed to trade. But I don't see winners here under any potential scenario.
Antonio Fatas, macroeconomist and professor at INSEAD, thank you for sharing your analysis with us today. Now, the World Trade Organization has sharply reduced its